You ready to go? Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
It is indeed an illustrious evening tonight, and I want to welcome you all here to the City of Oxford Board of Commissioners regular board meeting. It is Tuesday, December 12th, 2023, and it is 7 p.m., and we are assembled here in the third floor Commissioners meeting room here in City Hall. Before we proceed, I would like to ask you all to mute or turn off any electronic devices that you might have. And while you do so, I will read the core values that our board adopted many years ago that we remember with the mnemonic EPICOR. Equal treatment for everyone with dignity, courtesy, and respect. Teamwork within our organization and our community. Honesty in all of our dealings with citizens, fellow workers, and other organizations. Integrity in every action and service. Cost-effective and quality services for our community. Open and transparent communication with all parties. Responsibility for our decisions and our actions. Excellence in every deed. All right. At this time, I would like to invite Reverend Kathy Newton Duncan of St. Peter's United Methodist Church forward to the podium to open our meeting in prayer. For all those who are so inclined, we hope you will join us.
Let us pray. God of mercy, God of justice, God of love, we stand in your presence this evening with grateful hearts for the great things you have done. We give you thanks for each person who is gathered here in this boardroom on this evening. For your elected officials, we give thanks. For the businesses of this great city, we give thanks. For the churches that make your name known, O Lord, we give thanks. For families and every individual that make our city the great place it is, O Lord, we give thanks. We thank you, God, for being in your presence today. I ask that you bless those who have served this city and bless those who will serve this city in a new season. Lord, would you grant our leaders your wisdom, your guidance, as they deliberate on items before them this day, in days to come, and in years to come. Oh Lord, would you give each leader your strength in times of weakness? Would you grant each leader your ability for their incapabilities? Oh God, we ask that you would give sight to the blind and insight to the closed-minded. Would you give hearing to the deaf and listening ears to any who desire to hear their voice only? Oh Lord, whatever decisions are made by this council, may they be righteous in your sight for our benefit and for your glory. And Lord, when the ambiguities of life are no longer puzzling us, may you be pleased with the service your people. In the name of the one who was, the one who is, and the one who is to come. Amen.
Thank you so much, Reverend Duncan. And at this time, I would like to ask, invite Commissioner Teresa Gilreath to lead us in the pledge of allegiance. May we all stand, please? Pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner. At this time, we will consider adjustments to and approval of the agenda. We do not have anything in our places indicating any adjustments to the agenda. Is there anything that any board member would like to bring up, or I'll entertain a motion?
Motion.
Motion to approve the agenda as written by Commissioner Khan. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, signal so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign? Agenda is approved. In order to provide for the highest standards of behavior and transparency in governance, our board has approved a code of ethics to establish guidelines for ethical standards for board members and to provide guidance in determining appropriate conduct. Among those, that we should avoid impropriety in the exercise of our official duties and should conduct the affairs of the board in an open and public manner. I now inquire whether any board member knows of any conflict of interest or appearance of such with respect to any matters before the board tonight. If any of you do know of conflict of interest or appearance of such, please state so at this time. Let the record note no conflicts. At this time, we move forward to the delegations portion of our agenda. And we start, which is item 2.1, to acknowledge the Morgan Adams Wren Employee of the Month, who is Donald R. Smeads Jr. of the Public Works Department. Is Don here tonight? Okay, he is not, so I'm going to tell you a little about him. He is a sign and traffic control specialist, as I said, with the Public Works Department. And we have a certificate that says the City of Oxford celebrates Donald R. Smeads Jr. with a Morgan Adams Wren Employee of the Month Award for his steady reliability, positive attitude, and focus on professionalism, whether working with the staff or the public. Presented this the 12th day of December 2023 by myself and the Board of Commissioners and signed by myself and the manager. Will you please, in absentia, give Don a round of applause for his exemplary. I had asked that our Public Works Chair, Commissioner Ron Bullock, if he wanted to make a remark or two, for Don to be here. Is there anything you would like to add, Commissioner?
Simply to say, as I've said before, we are blessed with strong and good employees all across the board. Public Works area a lot of times sort of does the work, but does not get noticed. But to see someone like Don who does a great job every day, get recognized, is very deserving.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. We appreciate you recognizing Don Smeads. At this time, we will move forward to item 2.2, which is a proclamation honoring Betty Friday of this and that. And unfortunately, Betty and her family all had plans before they knew that we were going to present a proclamation. But we did invite Ellen Gould to come. Ellen is here. Okay, please come forward. Ellen will be accepting this proclamation on behalf of Betty Friday. Thank you. See you. I apologize for not recognizing you with the mask. Okay. So proclamation honoring Betty Friday of this and that. Whereas Caroline Elizabeth Friday, the youngest of two daughters and known to those who love her as Betty, was born to Floyd Dudley and Evelyn Hopgood Howard in 1942 and raised in Oxford, North Carolina, graduating from Oxford High School in 1960 before going on to attend Fuller Business School in downtown Oxford. And whereas after school, Betty left Oxford for the Triangle area to follow her heart and start a career, and after 20 years away, returned to her hometown roots in 1982, later joining Granville Savings and Loan, now Fidelity Bank, from 1992 until her retirement in 2008. And whereas Betty Friday was too full of energy and not ready to give up a life of work and engagement, she decided to indulge her passion for finding and collecting treasures and to try her hand in retail sales. And whereas in 2009, Betty opened and operated This and That in the former Hall's Drugstore location at 125 Main Street in Oxford, and worked there as sole proprietor, stock clerk, and bottle washer until September 26, 2023, when at the age of 81 years, when most that age are already sitting at home on the sofa, an unfortunate injury forced Betty to stay home to recuperate and consider whether she should really and truly retire. And whereas Betty's opening of This and That gave new life to a location which, as Hall's Drugstore, had long been a gathering spot for locals, as she created a warm and friendly atmosphere where passersby could stop, not only for gifts and collectibles, but also for a snack, a chat, some encouragement, and a cheerful greeting. And whereas Betty's shop gave entrepreneurial opportunities to so many, not only local collectors and crafters, but also authors and musicians, as well as serving as a drop-off location for ACIM donations. Frankly, she would help any vendor promote any product. And whereas Betty and her shop were so special, they were featured in a National Geographic travel article, and those who love her, miss her presence, and sing her praises are far too many to list. But they would all agree that while This and That was a favorite place for those that enjoyed looking for treasures, Betty Friday herself is the real treasure. Now, therefore, I, Jacqueline Vanderhorst Sergent, Mayor of the City of Oxford, along with the Oxford Board of Commissioners, do hereby recognize Betty Friday for investing her heart and soul as a shopkeeper in downtown Oxford for 14 years, embracing untold customers with Happy Day or Bless Your Bones, and making everyone happy while she did so. We thank you, we celebrate you, and we miss you. May your road be smooth and the wind ever at your back. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of Oxford, North Carolina, to be affixed this, the 12th day of December, 2023. And even though she's not here, she can watch on the live stream later. Please give her a huge round. To miss the opportunity to hear this proclamation read, we have committed to hosting a gathering in January where she will be able to attend, and other family members and friends, so that she can get another round of applause. I know probably there isn't a soul in here that hasn't wandered into her shop for some little goodie, and so we wish her well and hope she will live happily ever after.
We plan to serve Pepsis and naps.
Oh no, we have a vote. Excuse me. Okay. At this time, item 2.3, we will consider creating an annual award to celebrate the contributions of a community member without title or office who has distinguished him or herself by their service to the Oxford community without regard for distinction or recognition. So this might be a little obscure to you, and there was a reason for that, and that is because we as a board had a discussion individually to see if we could create an award in the honor of someone that we felt represented what I just read here. This was a suggestion to me by Waverly Mills that we ought to have an award who recognizes an everyday person who makes significant contributions. And for the longest time, I thought, who could that possibly be? And then we realized that the perfect person was Helen Curran Amos.
Yes.
Because we have to vote now, because we didn't want to broadcast that we wanted our first recipient to be completely surprised. By the fact that we were doing this. So at this time, I will entertain a motion to create an annual award heretofore being named the Helen Curran Award, to be awarded to a community member without title or office who has distinguished him or herself by their service to the Oxford community without regard for distinction or recognition. Is there a
Motion.
Motion. Is there any discussion on the motion? All in favor of that motion signal so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. We have a resounding approval. At this time, before I call Miss Helen up to receive her award, I want to take a minute to read a little something about her, so that you will know why she is the perfect person to have an award for the city of Oxford named after her. Helen Curran Amos, 92 years old, the oldest of 7 children, was born in Oxford, North Carolina on September 27, 1931, to Ellis Spencer Curran and Effie Beatrice Davis Curran. She has 2 children, 2 grandchildren, and 4 great-grandchildren. She attended Angier B. Duke Elementary School, Mary Potter High School, graduating in 1954, and East Carolina University, from which she earned an associate's degree in library science in 1978. After earning her high school degree, Helen went to work at the Angier B. Duke Elementary School in 1956, serving a dual role as the sole secretary and librarian. From 1962 through 1965, Helen Amos served as the librarian at the Granville County Colored Library. And I would have to add, if you were at the celebration of that building, you would know how many young fellows became readers because of the beauteous Helen Curran. In February 1965, she began work at the newly opened and integrated Richard H. Thornton Library, retiring in March 1995 after 30 years of employment. In April of 2004, Helen joined the Guardian ad litem. She has served 45 children during the years since, until she retired in 2018. Helen has been a lifelong member of First Baptist Church in Oxford, North Carolina, where she served as not only secretary for only over 10 years, but as trustee, among other roles in the church. She has been involved in and serving her community all of her adult life without fanfare or seeking acclaim. She has simply been serving steadily and with dedication whenever asked. Helen Amos made history as the first person of color to serve as the chair of the Granville County Board of Elections. She joined the board on June 18, 1975, and became the chair on July 20, 1993, serving in that capacity for 14 years until July 17, 2007. She has also served both as a member and as chair of the Granville County Senior Citizens Advisory Board and of the Granville County Human Relations Commission, as well as member and past president of the American Legion Auxiliary Number 166 and Lejeune Incorporated. Further, she has served as a member of the Granville Medical Center Board of Trustees, the Granville County Department of Social Services Board, the Richard H. Thornton Library Board, the North Carolina Cooperative Extension Service Board, the City of Oxford Bicentennial Committee, the North Carolina Ethics Board, appointed by Governor James Hunt, the North Carolina Social Service Commission, also appointed by Governor James Hunt. In the Masonic Order, Helen Amos has served as past worthy matron of Queen Esther Chapter number 536, Order of the Eastern Star, past Grand District Deputy of District 23, Order of the Eastern Star, past North Carolina Youth Director for Order of the Eastern Star, past Commandress of Imran Court number 555 in Henderson, North Carolina, past Deputy of Imran Court number 55, Daughters of Isis, also in Henderson, founding member of Henderson Assembly number 195, and past Loyal Lady Ruler of Henderson Assembly number 195. Helen has also been listed in Who's Who in North Carolina in 1973 and received the following awards: the Oxford Business and Professional Women's Club Woman of the Year, 1986 and 1989. The North Carolina Commandress of the Year in 1987. The Loyal Lady Ruler Award for Outstanding Leadership and Dedication in 1991. The Outstanding Service Award, Queen Esther Chapter number 536, Order of the Eastern Star in 1993. The Grand Chapter Service Award in 1994. The Outstanding Treasurer's Award in 1995. The North Carolina Gleaner Youth Department Award. The North Carolina Desert Conference of Courts Award in 2001. The Granville County Chamber of Commerce Outstanding Service to Citizens of Granville County in 2004. The National Chapter of Lejeune Political Action Award in 2004. The Eta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated Gamma Sigma Chapter Unsung Hero Award in 2010. The Oxford Business and Professional Chain Award, also in 2010. The G.C. Hawley Merit Award in 2012. The Granville County Social Services Board Member Award for Outstanding Service in 2014. The Granville County Human Relations Commission Robert H. Blackwell Award in 2017, and the State of North Carolina's Order of the Longleaf Pine Award in 2019. It seems fitting, does it not, that we use Helen Curran Amos, who in her quiet way has steadily been an example to all around her of how to willingly serve without motive or agenda wherever she might be needed. Why I thought maybe you might want to sit. The longest CD of anyone I know. I am shocked. I know I am shocked. I'm so thrilled. So you come back here so we can get a good photo. And we have this for you. And it has the city seal on it, and it says inaugural Helen Curran Amos Award, presented to Helen Curran Amos for setting the standard for a life of service dedicated to her community without motive, fanfare, or seeking acclaim. December 12th, 2023, and listing myself and the City of Oxford Board of Commissioners. You
Thank you so much, and I am really shocked. Nobody mentioned anything to me. I was wondering why she came up and said, "Oh, Miss Helen Amos, this seat's so reserved for you and your family." And I wonder what in the world is happening. Thank you so much. That's so sweet of the commissioners. Thank you. And Jackie, you've always been so close. Love you
Oh,
so
we
much.
love you, and we thank you
Yes.
for setting an example for the rest of us on how to serve and serve humbly. That's a big deal, and you have done so much and been such an example, and we are truly, really, truly grateful.
Well, thank you so much.
God bless you and keep you.
Okay.
Can I 3 cheers to her daughter Wilma? Able to get her here and have her not know. Okay. At this time, would you like a box? Would you like to get the box? Thank you. At this time, we move forward to the public comment portion of our agenda, but it would appear that we are all here to celebrate and not give other comments, so we do not have anybody signed up for public comment. So we move forward to the public hearing portion of our agenda. And at this time, which is section 4, and so item 4.1 is to hold a public hearing on an annexation request of 1.9 acres on Hicks Mill Road. And you have support information. I don't have the name of that item. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so let me go ahead and what this request was presented by Bruce and Carol Gully to annex 1.9 plus or minus acres on Hicks Mill Road. And the board members have several attachments. One is labeled Hicks Mill Road map, 1.9 acres. The second is labeled legal description for Hicks Mill Road annexation of 1.9 acres, .pdf. The third, petition for Hicks Mill Road with both owners' signature, .pdf. And the fourth, the certificate of sufficiency. At this time, I declare the public hearing open. Is there anybody in the section to our right that would like to come forward to speak on this item? Is there anyone in the center section that would like to come forward to speak on this item? Is there anyone in the section to our left that would like to come forward to speak on this item? Independently of geography, is there anyone who would like to come forward and speak on this item? There being no one to comment, I declare the public hearing closed. And we move forward to item 5.1, which is to consider accepting the certificate of sufficiency and approving the annexation request by Bruce and Carol Gully of 1.9 plus or minus acres off of Hicks Mill Road. Staff recommends accepting the sufficiency petition for annexation and approving this said annexation of 1.9 plus or minus acres on Hicks Mill Road. What is the pleasure of the board?
Motion.
That was a concomitant motion, I think, and okay, excellent. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor of the motion signal so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign? That motion carries unanimously. Item 5.2. Consider accepting the certificate of sufficiency statement and scheduling a public hearing for the January 9th, 2024 board meeting regarding the annexation petition for 261.59 plus or minus acres for the Knox Grove Road assemblage. Staff recommends scheduling a public hearing for the January 9th, 2024 board meeting regarding this issue and to accept the certificate of sufficiency for annexation. Colleagues, you have four attachments. The first is labeled 11402-00 Knox Grove Legal .docx. The second 2023-1003 annexation plat for Knox Grove Road.pdf. The third, document annexation petition for Knox Grove Road assemblage property owners. And the fourth, certificate of sufficiency Knox.doc. So with that, what is the pleasure of the board?
Motion.
I heard Commissioner Bridges first. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor of the motion, which is to accept the certificate of sufficiency statement for annexation and to schedule a public hearing for January 9th, signal so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign? That motion carries unanimously. Item 5.3, consider accepting the certificate of sufficiency statement and scheduling a public hearing for January 9th, 2024 board meeting regarding the annexation petition for 165.7 plus or minus acres located on Raleigh Road and West Antioch Drive. Staff recommends scheduling a public hearing for the January 9th, 2024 board meeting regarding this annexation and to accept the certificate of sufficiency. You have, again, 4 attachments to go with this item. The first is Raleigh Road annexation plat.pdf. The second, 11402-01 Raleigh Road legal.docx. The third, document 2023-Raleigh Road assemblage annexation petition.pdf. And the fourth, certificate of sufficiency RR.doc. What is the pleasure of the board?
Motion.
Motion by Mayor Pro Tem. Is there any discussion on the motion? All in favor of the motion signal so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign? That motion carries unanimously. Item 5.4, consider directing the city clerk to investigate and certify the sufficiency of the petition for annexation of 52 plus or minus acres known as Cruz Pond located on the outer loop. This is a non-contiguous annexation request of 52 plus or minus acres located on the outer loop. Staff recommends directing the city clerk to investigate and certify the sufficiency of the petition and to certify the sufficiency of the petition for the January 9th, 2024 board meeting. You have 3 attachments at your hot links labeled PB51PG187.pdf. The second, City of Oxford annexation, and the third, submittal 2023-11-28.pdf. What is the pleasure of the board?
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Bullock. Any discussion there too? All in favor of the motion signal so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign? That motion carries unanimously. Item 5.5, consider calling for a public hearing to receive citizen input to amend the UDO, the Unified Development Ordinance, eliminating section 3.5.4 Internet sweepstakes facilities in order to avoid conflicts with other sections of the ordinance. The staff recommends calling for a public hearing for the January 9th, 2024 board meeting for a text amendment eliminating 3.5.4 of the Unified Development Ordinance. What is the pleasure of the board?
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Tobies and concomitantly, any discussion? All in favor of calling for a public hearing on this item, signal so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign? That motion carries unanimously. Item 5.6, consider calling for a public hearing for the January 9th, 2024 board meeting for a UDO text amendment under section 2.3.4 for conservation development option for recreation active open space requiring 25% of the gross site area. The text amendment should require 25% of the gross site area. The current language is not in keeping with the spirit and intent of requiring more open space. Staff recommends calling for a public hearing for the January 9th board meeting for this text amendment. What is the pleasure of the board?
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Bridges. Any discussion there too? All in favor of the motion signal so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign? That motion carries unanimously. Item 5.7, consider calling for a public hearing for the January 9th meeting for a text amendment for section 6.15.1 of the UDO. A public hearing is needed regarding a text amendment from section 6.115.1 of the UDO easement width for greenways, changing the minimum from 30 feet to 20 feet to be consistent with the easement width in other sections of the Unified Development Ordinance. Staff recommends calling for a public hearing for the January 9th meeting for a text amendment for the section 6.15.1 of the UDO. What is the pleasure of the board?
Motion.
I think I heard Commissioner Lumpkins. Any discussion there too? All in favor of the motion signal so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign? That motion carries unanimously. Item 5.8, consider approving a budget amendment to transfer American Rescue Plan dollars to the City Hall Theater project. The Parks and Recreation Committee at their November meeting recommended appropriating $200,000 of ARPA funds for the theater renovation project. Staff recommends approving the adjustments to the budget for the 2023-2024 budget year. And you have an attachment, which is budget amendment 4.X. What is the pleasure of the board?
Motion.
I think I'm going to give that one to Commissioner Khan because he is chair of the Recreation Committee. Is there any discussion there too? All in favor of the motion signal so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign? That motion carries unanimously. Item 5.9, consider approving a budget amendment to appropriate general fund balance for engineering services. And this is to provide engineering services for on-call construction observation in the amount of $236,000, as well as to provide engineering services for plan reviews in the amount of $600,000. Staff recommends, oh, excuse me. I'm on a roll. $60,000. I apologize. I'm so sorry. I'm sure our city manager had a slight heart attack. Staff recommends approving the adjustments to the budget for the 2023-24 budget year. And you have an attachment labeled engineering budget amendment voucher .X. What is the pleasure of the board?
Motion.
Motion, I heard Commissioners Khan and Bullock. Oh, and you heard Toby. Okay.
Of course.
All in favor of the motion? No, excuse me, any discussion on the motion? All in favor of the motion signal so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign? That motion carries unanimously. At this time, we move forward to the consent agenda, which is to accept the finance report and approve the November minutes. What is the pleasure of the board? Motion by Mayor Pro Tem. Any discussion? All in favor of approving the consent agenda, signal so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign? That motion carries also unanimously. That was a speedy
It was.
bunch of old business. At this time, we are ready to have presentations to and remarks from outgoing commissioners and myself. So we have Commissioner Teresa Gilreath, who I believe would like to make her remarks from the podium.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, my fellow Oxford City Commissioners, the board, elect mayor and commissioners, as well as all of our invited guests, family, and friends. I am Teresa Smith Gilreath, and it has been my honor and pleasure to serve the great city of Oxford for the past 4 years. Thank you to the citizens of Oxford, most of whom I personally met at your front door just to have a conversation or whatever. I've met many of you at the grocery store, at the library, any sidebar conversations from any meeting that I may have had. Thank you for those citizens who have addressed the issues and concerns of the day anywhere our paths cross. I am glad we've had these exchanges and I have learned a lot. I will always value the lessons learned from my heavy hitters. And I don't see my heavy hitters here tonight. They did me very well. Believe it or not, we have actually become friends and have gained mutual respect for each other. To the many city employees of the city of Oxford, I will always have a fond spot in my heart for each of you. Many of you have provided me with countless opportunities. Okay. Let me just talk to you like I normally do. Many of you have provided me with countless opportunities to contact you in my quest to seek a greater understanding of the various issues at hand. As chair of the Budget and Finance Committee, and Madam Bear spending $600,000 tonight, she tried to give me a heart attack. Okay, as the chair of the Budget and Finance Committee, I was fortunate enough to have follow-up conversations with Mr. Hawk, former financial director, as we stood on the soccer fields watching our sons play soccer. These have been some of the most meaningful interactions because of the staff of Oxford are always on the job no matter where they are. I have experienced the same with planning director Cheryl Hart. This goes to show that our staff are committed to do whatever to assure that the needs of our community are met. Thank you all. Thanks to all the chiefs and the directors for your leadership to the board, and to all the employees who are the core of what makes Oxford shine. Madam Mayor, I can only say thank you for challenging me to justify my position and being acceptable of my perspective. I have truly valued our long conversations in our attempt to meet the needs of the citizens of Oxford. Thank you for being my sounding board and trusting me to share my unfiltered insight on any issue. I look forward to our new relationship as former members of the board. Now, to my fellow board members, I am grateful for the professionalism and the relationship that we have had with each other. I wish each of you continued success as you move Oxford into the future. With your permission, I do wish to be able to reach out if the need arises. Remember, I do have your personal cell phone number. And I promise not to call anyone in the middle of the night. Just joking. To the new board members, I wish you the very best as each of you embrace your new role as you address the challenging needs of our community. Remember that you've been elected by the community and that we are here to support you as the same staff that has been instrumental in my positive experience on this board. Thank you for your desire to serve and represent me and my fellow citizens of Oxford. I wish everyone Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Got a little something for you. But first, a hug. Commissioner Gilreath, you have been extraordinary to work with. Focused, dedicated, honest, and forthright, even when it was not easy or politically expedient. And I am equally grateful to you for your time on the board and your devotion to your task and your friendship. And I've learned as much from you And I'm so grateful that I've had this opportunity and that we will get to go forth as friends with more time. And I know our board feels the same. So we do have a plaque for you with the city seal that says, Teresa Gilreath, with our deepest gratitude for your attention to detail and diligent care of the people's money as chair of the Finance Committee, for your dedicated focus on doing the work and asking the questions, and your unwavering commitment to the best interests of the city as a whole. The City of Oxford Board of Commissioners, you worked from 2019 to 2023, presented this day, December 12th, 2023. Please give her go forth and prosper.
Thank you. Thank you.
And at this time, we invite Commissioner Ron Bullock forward. So Ron, would you like your talk first or to make your remarks first?
Whichever we did
It's your moment.
At this point, I would just like to say thank you. It's been quite an opportunity and a privilege to try to serve the whole community, which was my goal. To do what I could do to help make it a better place for all of us to live and to enjoy. I would start by thanking my family, my wife and daughter here. How many times did I miss a meal or change schedules? They saw me going out the door, so I want to thank them, as well as they did some campaigning for me along the way. So they were a tremendous help. I thank you. I also want to thank the staff. We have a wonderful staff here. For the police department, fire department. I was at a meeting last night with Miss Amos. Fire department called and a member left. So I mean, to show the dedication we have, I watched a young lady downstairs at the finance department deal with an upset customer and did a beautiful job. So to the staff, thank you. To my fellow commissioners, we didn't agree on everything and we discussed a lot. But the main thing we did maintain was a sense of respect for each other. I felt like I was listened to and had the opportunity to speak my mind. You can't ask for much more than that. But just finally, to Jackie and Danny Curry, we all started some times ago. 12 years went by quickly, but it was time for me to say, let somebody else go. So I offer my congratulations and my support to the new mayor, to the new board. If any way I can be of any assistance, on a phone call away. But thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
So, we have a plaque for you as well, and it's true. Ron and Danny and I and CJ all came on the board together. There were 4 new commissioners and 4 open seats. To Ron Bullock, with our deepest gratitude for your steadfast commitment to improving the city's utility infrastructure as chair of the Public Works Committee, your unceasing representation of and service to our veterans, and your quiet insight and willing service wherever needed. City of Oxford Board of Commissioners from 2019, 2009 to 2013, and 2015 to 2023, presented on December 12th, 2023. Stay up here for 1 minute. Ron has been as steady as they go. When I'm passionate about something, you can hear my voice tighten and go up despite all my efforts. Ron is steady and calm. He is present. He shows up. He shows up. He shows up. He's always there. When a board member asks, can he come? He comes. Except when Sandy was having all of her arm things. He has given and given and given of himself, and I, for one, have been tremendously grateful to work alongside of you all these many years, and I know the rest of the board has been as well.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
You want to present first? You want to present first, or?
Remarks.
Remarks, okay. I'm gonna do like Commissioner Gilreath. Y'all would know that after this many years, I couldn't possibly leave without having prepared some remarks. Who knew in the spring of 2009, when I went to a meeting of Oxford Neighbors and Friends to discuss finding candidates for the board that would support historic preservation, that I would end up here? Who knew that a come here, not a from here, with no family connections and no church connections? There are only about 5 Jews in the county. In a field of 16 candidates, would end up here as the 3rd woman on the board in its 200-year history, and later the first female mayor. I certainly did not. And what an extraordinary honor, privilege, and journey it has been. How can I begin to do justice to the community members that voiced their confidence in me to serve on this board? How can I begin to do justice to the City of Oxford staff members and managers who have answered my constant questions with grace and attention, not once showing irritation or frustration, even when that might have been the case? How can I begin to do justice to my colleagues on the board who have served alongside with me, have engaged in so many discussions and debates, and from whom I have learned so much? I am so proud of all that we have accomplished together. When I came on the board, our fund balance was 11%. Through years of hard work and commitment by the board, managers, and staff, that balance has grown steadily, putting the city in an excellent financial position and enabling us to leverage millions of dollars to accomplish critically important infrastructure work that will support Oxford's needs and growth going forward. And if that comment reminds some of you about the disrepair of our streets over the past years, I would like to, 1, thank you all for your patience in that regard, and 2, point out that due to the diligence and focus of our city engineer and her staff with these projects, our residents and water customers have been saved more than $30 million in costs because of grant funding and interest payments avoided. That is no small amount of money. Unfortunately, it is easier to see and feel the streets and the disruption, but underneath the surface, there has been a tremendous amount of work on behalf of those who pay the bills, the people and taxpayers and customers of Oxford. And there are heroes in every city department. Some are obvious. Our police department, responding to all calls, not knowing what lies at the other end, for which Corporal Allen sadly paid a horrific price, and we pray no others will. And our fire department, who showed us all last month, right after being recognized by the city for their work, how careful planning and training can make all the difference when it comes to saving lives and preserving structures. Others may be less obvious though. In public works, our water and wastewater employees keep everything flowing so well that we take it for granted, unaware that they are often out during the worst weather, making sure it all keeps working. While our streets and facility workers are out before most of us have had our morning coffee, always striving to keep Oxford working and looking good. Our finance department has kept things going through software transitions and computer crashes, while our customer service reps downstairs have shown us how graciousness is an art. Our planning and code enforcement team has leveraged millions to improve housing and build sidewalks, completed a new UDO and multiple plans, and progressively cleaned up needed areas throughout the city. And Antoine is always smiling, whether people greet him with one or not. Our recreation department is small but mighty. They not only work to add the quality of life services that enhance all of our days, but are always assisting other departments to accomplish tasks on their lists. Our downtown development director is committed to supporting and working with our merchants to keep downtown vibrant and appealing to investors, residents, and visitors alike, while our HR director works steadily and creatively to assure the best possible benefits for our staff and to meet their needs. Lastly, our executive staff, the manager, our clerk, and the communication specialists, they see and hear it all, are interrupted constantly and continue to forge ahead, always pleasant, always willing, always working for the board and for you. I know that I ran on a little bit there, but how can I leave without letting them and you know how appreciated and valuable they are to the well-being of our community. They are the best, and I'm grateful that I've gotten to work with them and see all that they do, which leaves me with my family. My husband Hervé, who's been listening to me talk about this city for 14 years, has offered to help unfailingly when there has been a need, including getting boxes out of my office at the last minute. Was that last night? At 10 o'clock at night. So we would leave the place clean for the incoming mayor. And he has refrained from speaking out when there wasn't a need. And my children and now grandchildren, who along with Hervé, have been waiting patiently for me to say, I'll be there, without having to check my calendar first. To the Taylor sisters who devoted endless hours to my campaigns and managing the finances, and to all the friends who volunteered in so many ways, I am grateful to each of you for making it possible for me to be in this role of service to our community. It has been an honor. It has been a journey. It has been a blast. I congratulate the incoming mayor and board members on their elections, and I wish the entire board all the very best as you go forward. May you always listen to one another, the manager and staff, and gain insight from each other as you work to keep the well-being of our fair city and all within it above all else. God bless you and thank you.
Be ready, Quan. Be ready. Just in case, okay? This is not easy to do. To Jackie. A true trailblazer. An appreciation for your years of enthusiastic leadership, service, and your steadfast dedication to the city of Oxford by demonstrating fairness to all employees and citizens. Your tireless effort as mayor have made the city of Oxford a place everyone is proud to call home. City of Oxford Commissioner, 2009 to 2011. City of Oxford first female mayor, 2011 to 2023. Thank you from the Board of Commissioners, the city employees, and the citizens of Oxford. Presented December 12th, 2023.
In case y'all don't know, this is my sister from another mother. And I love her, and it has been my honor to serve with her. And it will continue to be an honor to be able to call her my friend
Yes.
and keep visiting and chatting and loving her.
Yes.
I am grateful to all of you, from each and every one I learned. Although, even though you might think I'm persisting with my own opinion. Listen, I learned, and I am grateful. God bless each and every one of you. And,
To Jackie has been a friend and a confidant at some of the most devastating times in my life. When my husband was diagnosed with glioblastoma, I didn't know what it was. I called Jackie. A few months after my husband died, my father died, I called Jackie. And a few months after my father died, my mother died. And I called Jackie. She's not just a mayor, she's a friend. She's a rock. She listens, she empathizes, and she understands. God gives us friends few and far between. And I've learned to cherish them. So whether I'm a commissioner or I'm just Pat Beals, this will always be my friend. Now, I'm gonna ask Juan, who's been on the board with you, I think nearly the longest, to come, and I feel it would be fair for you to present this to Jackie.
Okay.
Did I not say be ready?
No. It was supposed to be a plaque.
Huh?
I feel completely overwhelmed.
Here you are here.
Stop complaining.
That's
Yeah,
it.
it is. Y'all can get this for me when I'm gone. I hope y'all realize, I know we want to be celebratory in terms of the new individuals that will be joining this board, and rightfully so.
Yes.
But I hope you understand also what we are losing on this board in terms of experience, in terms of just love for this city, in terms of just friendship. It's important to have folk who love everybody
Yes.
No matter what the
Yes.
color of their skin,
Yes.
no matter what their
Yes.
race, no matter what their religion.
Yes.
And that is certainly what our mayor has been.
Yes.
You know, I'm proud to say, you know, that I served with this mayor. Because, you know, a lot to me. And Hervé, yeah, I'm a little upset with you. You know? But you have served well. You have brought so much joy to people. And this city owes you a great debt in
Yes.
terms of what you've
Yes, it
done for us. And we just love you, Jackie Salton.
Yes.
I feel undeserved. God bless you all. We have had so many conversations. We used to go to, it's been a couple of years. I think we haven't been back and down to Creedmoor and Butner in a while, but Creedmoor and Butner used to have their Christmas parades. One Creedmoor in the morning at 11 and Butner in the afternoon at 2. And so Quan and I would ride down together and chat while we were in line at the Creedmoor parade, and then we would hang out and get some lunch, except for the one time when we ran out of candy and I did a mad dash back to get candy and then went back down. But we've had a lot of opportunities to talk and share our hearts, and it has been an honor. Trust is an important thing. And I have been so blessed with trusting relationships with my board members and with so many of the staff. And really, honestly and truly, there are so many who probably wished that I would not come to a meeting so I would keep my mouth shut. Or staff who didn't want to pick up the phone or have me come like it is because it would be a barrage of questions. And everybody has been just exquisitely wonderful. So I thank you again. It has been an honor. Mayor-elect, commissioners-elect, this is a great day to celebrate. We are happy and excited for you and look forward to what this will bring to the new board and for the city of Oxford. And we wish you all the blessings of the season and the world. And at this time, is there a motion to, okay. Hang on. Brief pause. Is it not, I thought we usually do it in January. Attorney Burnett, do we normally certify the results of the election at the December board meeting?
It's prior to the installation of the new
Okey dokey. The first agenda. We love technology. Okay, so let's do. Normally we have the result printed out. On the first agenda, okay, give me a moment, please. Quick minute. I have the first agenda. Income, this is all after the recess. I don't have the first agenda. Where? First one. So we normally say results. Okay. Hold that thought.
Seth got it.
Results.
Yeah.
Thank you, Scott.
Seth got it. Seth got it.
Oh, you've got them there? Oh, okay. So, at this time, first, I would like to ask if there is a willingness on behalf of the board to add an item to the agenda, which is to certify the results of the agenda of the election, the November 7th election, before we adjourn CME.
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Khan. Is there any discussion of the motion? Okay, then at this time, I'm going to read aloud the results. The 11/7/2023 official municipal election results for Granville County in the city of Oxford. For Guillermo Nurse as mayor, there were 1,098 votes, 66.67%. For Debbie Ramsey for mayor, there were 461 votes, 27.99%. For Jackie Sargent as a write-in, there were 67 votes, 4.07%. And miscellaneous write-ins, there were 21 for 1.28%. For City of Oxford Commissioner, there were Carlos J. Velez, there were 778 votes, or 16.92%. For Curtis McCray, 698 votes. For John Tovey, 658 votes. For Scotty Brooks, 657 votes. For Stuart Powell, 645 votes. For Jim Crawford, 614 votes. And for Teresa Gilreath, 538 votes. And miscellaneous write-in, 10 votes. With that, you already had a motion. Commissioner Khan made the motion. Is there any further discussion of the motion? All in favor of the motion signal so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign? That motion carries. And at this point, the manager would like to say a word, and then we will entertain a motion to go down to the reception.
Thank you, Mayor. Just in the last couple hours, I was made aware of an announcement about a project that all of you have been working on for quite some time. To oversimplify, for those of you who don't know, we are members of the Car Lake water system with the city of Henderson and Warren County. They embarked on a project a few years ago to expand the water treatment plant from 10 million gallons to 20 million gallons. Due to the high cost of the project, we were only able to do 15 million gallons while we looked to try to get the additional 5 million gallons. Basically, we were $25 million short. Most recently, the city of Oxford received a $10 million allotment from the state legislature toward that project. Warren County got $4 million. Through the work of Amy Ratliff, our engineer, went to the State Water Infrastructure Authority, was able to secure the additional $11 million for the project. So we anticipate being able to do the full 20 million gallons. And what that means for the city of Oxford is that we'll be able to take our capacity from 2 million to 4 million gallons a day. And that's a very big deal in the growth of this city. So since y'all have been working on that and the new commissioners are here, I'd like to give the opportunity to make you aware of that. The work you've done has been tremendous, and the opportunity for for you. It was also tremendous. And, wanted to make you aware of that.
Give him a round. Well done. At this point, we will have an adjournment sine die, which means without a very precise end. And that is to go down in the lobby for a refreshment. And after that refreshment reception stairs, when the board reconvenes for the installation of the new mayor and board, they will be in the second floor auditorium. So if you're coming back after the reception, it is not all the way up to the third floor where we are now, but to the second floor auditorium. And with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn sine die. Motion, Commissioner Toby. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, signal say so by saying aye.
Aye.
And march with your feet.